guys, Jess here with the Not So Hopeless Wonders, bringing you a long overdue minimalist tour. If there's any subscribers out there that are more interested in the minimalism thing than the budgeting thing, I apologize for the delay on that. I was actually planning on doing a toddler room tour, but we still have a couple things that we are working on selling and moving out of the room. So I'm going to hold off until those are out of there. So today I decided to do the kitchen. In the interest of full disclosure, no, it does not always look like this. I did absolutely clean off the counters because it is our central hub for the house and it collects a lot of stuff. So the counters are a lot cleaner than they normally are. So we'll jump in here. I do, when I get everything all cleaned up, I do try and keep the counters as clear as possible. This tends to be our kind of stuff corner, some receipts that we're holding for, a short period of time. And I've actually got two sinking funds back here, one for Gavin's birthday and one for vehicle repair, as well as some car insurance stuff back there. So just a couple little things there. Got our little candle going here. And then over here I've got our magnetic knife strip. Love that in getting the knife block off the counter. That was really nice. Got our halos here, Gav's tomatoes, and our banana bucket there. So all the produce that stays out stays right over here. And our toaster. And then over here some paper towels. So this is kind of the main counter section in the kitchen here. We've got our sink over here with my old beat up scrubby brush to clean the sink. Got a drying rack there because we don't have a dishwasher, so we use our drying rack. Keep our olive oil out next to the stove. Got our gas stove here, not super clean, but I tried to kind of wipe it up. That gets used daily, at least once a day, if not 2 to 3 times a day. And then the little section over here. So I'll jump in and show you guys what we keep in the kitchen. This was, for the most part, the easiest room for me to declutter. I just kind of went through and got rid of all the stuff that we weren't using. So I would say about 95% of the things that we keep in the kitchen are actually used. There are still just a couple things that I should probably let go of, but for the most part this is pretty well decluttered. We'll start up at the top here. This is kind of almost like an overflow cabinet. Up at the top we've got some medicine, allergy medicine, cold medicine. In the middle is mostly some drink flavor additives and some emergency of RJ's. That was over on that side is Gav's inhaler. And then on the bottom we've just got some snacks for Gav, some Nutri-Grain bars, his vitamins, and then our veggie chips. And then RJ got his Pop-Tarts this week if you saw our grocery haul. So this is kind of an overflow, kind of a snack cabinet. The second cabinet is mostly a grain cabinet. At the bottom I've got our rice and our pasta and my prescription there. And then above that I've got raisins. I've got a little bit of cashews that I actually got for Christmas left there, and some fried onions. Up at the top, that's for our green bean casserole. So that's the kind of stuff that stays in there. Top shelf is empty. It had ice cube trays and I finally let them go. I said to myself, our refrigerator makes ice cubes. I don't need ice cube trays. This is silly. Over here tends to be canned goods. Oh, this one likes to close on its own. So we've got some green beans waiting for green bean casserole. I just got some extra tomato sauce. And over here is some stuff that hasn't been used in a while. I think this is some panko breading. Yeah, but I might use that come summer to try and make like a black bean burger or something instead of breadcrumbs. I might use those panko crumbs there. And that's a salad topper that I haven't used in a while either. And then up above, got some tahini. Oh, we haven't made hummus in a long time, but we still have tahini. So if we want to make some hummus, we've got some because I could only find it in a large jar like that. Got some PB2, love PB2. It's a lot healthier than peanut butter, you know, no oil or anything like that. And it keeps me from eating an entire jar with a spoon by myself. So, and then we've got some popcorn kernels because we make our popcorn on the stovetop. And then way up top there, if you can see, I've got a handful of cutting boards. Got a few large flat ones and one small one up there. So that's everything in this cabinet. So, you know, mostly these are kind of like a pantry cabinets, and then this one over here is like a snack cabinet. And then the last one all the way over here is where we keep our dishes. So pretty straightforward. My mom got us this really nice dish set when we bought our house. You know, RJ is big into reptiles, and it kind of has this like, you know, reptile scale look to it. The only problem is that, and it makes sense for, you know, buying your first house that you probably want to entertain. So it's a set of 8, and we never use all of them. So we'll see if I want to scale down and cut that in half because we never use them all. So we've got the large plates, the small plates, and the large bowls. And then we've got our little Walmart bowls here that are a little bit smaller. We've got one little glass dish in that back corner there, and that's usually for mixing like a dip or a some sort of seasoning. Like I'll mix my taco seasoning. I make my own taco seasoning and I mix it in there. And then up at the top I just have this one large plate, and that gets used a lot in the summer when we put things on the barbecue. So we'll bring them in on that large plate there. So that's all of our dishes. And then when you come around the corner here, this is all of our spices. So in here we've got our giant thing of chili powder that my boss gave me because I go through a lot of that. Got some olive oil spray over to the side there. And then this little guy spins. So we've got all kinds of seasonings and spices there. Up above I have a couple measuring cups. I've got a large glass 2-cup, or I'm sorry, a large glass 4-cup, I think. And then a small plastic 2-cup. And then this cool little guy, which I'm still working on using more of, but this is a measuring cup for tablespoons and teaspoons, and it's really cool if you're trying to minimize and eliminate some stuff. You know, just one item here does all of your measuring. I'm still working on getting used to it though. I like my spoons for powders and things like that. And then a couple other things at top, some extracts and cinnamon and pepper and salt way up at the top. The little thing broke off, so I have a bag over the top of it there. So that's all of our seasonings and spices in that cabinet there. And then we'll come back over here, and this is our silverware drawer, as well as we've got, you know, the usual pens over here, a lighter over there for a little candle, all of our silverware, and a couple little extra things. So like I said, I do still have a small set of measuring spoons. We've also got an ice cream scoop in here. We've got our pizza cutter because we have pizza every week. And then I've got this cool veggie peeler that also has a little thing inside that you can swap out, and you can julienne your veggies. So you can kind of make some cucumber noodles or zucchini noodles with that. And I think behind it, I cleared that out this week. I eliminated all the junk that was sitting in the back there, so all that's back here are just some knife covers from that knife set that we got last Christmas. So that's what's in that one there. This one here is our large utensil drawer. It's still a bit of a mess, but I did get rid of a lot of these. This used to be way more cluttered. So this is mostly stuff that we use pretty regularly. I've got our mashed potato smasher there, you know, a slotted spoon, one of these things, spatula, whisk, some spoons, some tongs. Love these tongs. I had a set of old tongs and they were terrible, and then I replaced them with these and they work so much better. Got a little basting brush that I use occasionally, some regular spoons, and then I've got this big metal spatula for the grill. And behind that is a mandolin that RJ uses a lot to make some hash browns on his own. And we've got a knife sharpener that I need to learn how to use. Can opener, all of that stuff is in here. And then the last drawer is plastic wrap, aluminum foil, sandwich bags, Ziploc bags, some straws that sometimes get used, mostly with smoothies in the summer. And as you can see, I'm really trying to use this guy more. Again, this is one of those, it's 1 cup, and it does all your measurements, your half cup, your quarter cup, your thirds, all of that. And I think it does, yeah, it does milliliters too. So it's got it all built in, but I still am holding on to one set of measuring cups, but eventually those will go. I do like having just the one with everything all labeled on the inside. So that's that drawer there. And then not much underneath, surprisingly, with all these cabinets, but under this one here, this is just a junk drawer, if we can focus. And then this is mostly like blenders. We've got our personal blender for smoothies on the left there, and then on the right is my immersion blender, and that's how I blend just about everything, because it's just a lot easier for me to blend stuff that way instead of dirtying a lot of parts. So I do like the immersion blender a lot. So that's that one there. Ooh, sorry. The one in the middle here is not really anything. I honestly don't know what this stuff is on the bottom. It was here when we moved in. So we'll probably thrift store those before we sell the house eventually. And on the top is Frontline for the cats that I never use, it's super old, and Heartguard for the dog that I really need to use. I'm really terrible about that. And then we actually have this little burger maker thing on the left there. I know it's a little dark in there, but you can make your burger with fillings on the inside, and we've never used that either. So we'll see if that makes our next cut. So that's all in the second cabinet, nothing really much in there. And then the last one on the left here is my oats and a large bottle of olive oil to refill our bottle by the stove. And then I've got some funnels for your occasional usage, and back there I think is a grater that never gets used either. So that's all that's in that cabinet. And then we've got one of these corner Lazy Susan type cabinets here, and that's where all of our breads stay. So regular loaf of bread, all of our tortillas, little ones, big ones, and potatoes on the bottom. So all that stuff stays there in that cabinet. And then moving over to the sink area, this is all cleaning stuff. It's super gross down here. I'm not really a fan of this cabinet, and I don't know what to do with it, to be honest. But I got one of those large juice bottles to keep like grease and stuff from the stove. And then I've got soap, dish soap in there, some other cleaning products in the back, some other wipes. I've got my dish cleaning sponge and scrubby brushes and garbage bags. And then I use this bottle, where am I, here, to refill the cat's and the dog's water dish. And that garbage can doesn't get used. So I hate this cabinet. It's just filthy and it bothers me and I don't know what to do with it. So that's that. And then, moving on to the left here, is this really big cabinet here, and we think this was an afterthought. It's probably where the dishwasher used to be, and then it was removed. I'm okay with it though, because I'm not really a big fan of dishwashers. So this is where we keep all our pots and pans. Pans are stacked on the bottom, with all the lids stacked on the right. And up top are pots, the large pot with a strainer inside, and our medium to small pots on the right there. And I think behind there is a couple skillets, like a cast iron, that I'm trying to get using more. But that's all our pots and pans. And then we've got our dish draining rack there. And then up above here is all of our glasses. We used to have so many glasses, and we've got it a lot more minimized. On the bottom we've got these small, nice drinking glasses that my mom gave us. We've got a couple or a handful of those. Some larger pint glasses there. RJ's got this cool beard one that I got for him for Christmas last year. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. And then we've got a couple of mason jars over there. Got just a couple of shot glasses. I actually use those to mix up the PB2, oddly enough. Just these two juice glasses and just these two mugs. We don't really make our own coffee at home. I don't drink coffee, and RJ doesn't make his own at home. So I actually usually use those for smoothies because the handle keeps my my hand from getting cold. And then he's got a Florida Gators mug up top. So that's all of our glasses there. So we've got our stove here. Underneath, let's see what's under here. It's probably dirty, so I apologize for that. I think it's just an old pizza tray and some cookie sheets that I never use, so those might go. I'm not sure, because I don't really make cookies anymore. And there's one more small cabinet on the side here that's getting emptier and emptier. It's really dark in there, so I apologize, but if you can just barely tell, there's 2 baking sheets here. There's just a couple baking sheets there. They're old, they're dirty, but we put aluminum foil on them when we roast our cauliflower and our home fries. And then up here is just a baking dish. I usually use that for our green bean casserole and some muffin trays in the back. I'm still debating if I want to keep those, but I have made apple flowers in them before, and those are really good, so that's kind of the only reason I'm hanging on to those. So that's all that's in that cabinet. And then in the drawer above it, we've got our adorable little silicone froggy hot pan grabber, whatever you want to call that. Our meat thermometer, and some I don't even know, what do you call these? What do you put a hot pan on, I suppose? Having a moment. And then the last one all the way up here is Gab's cabinet. So he's got some bowls, some plates, a whole bunch of cups, and then I've got one large mixing bowl up top there. And I think we've got some red Solo cups from his last birthday party, so those will probably get used up this year. And that is everything. So I've done a pretty good job minimizing the kitchen. We've got a ton of cabinets over here, but most of them are, only half full, if that. So that's everything that we've got. I appreciate you watching. This was a long video, so if you stuck it through, more power to you, much appreciated. And I will see you guys again soon. Have a good one.